There we are. Hey, hey! Welcome to my big mug. Hey, hey, welcome to Faulkner Fixes All. We have to make room here today. We got to work on several bikes. A lot of these bikes have to be stored elsewhere, but I just can't fathom bringing them out of the shop without various things being done to them. And we're going to get this about this speeds. What is this, a collegiate? We're going to get this 1970 collegiate about 90% there. I think I can finish it off except the rear brake cable. So let's get to it, get that off the stand, and then we got some other stuff to do. I got this giant welding job coming up, and I need room. So we got to make room. These have to go. I don't know where they're going, but they're going somewhere else. Okay. Let's get you in here. We have to put this front brake back on. This is the brake that I promised to clean up, and we did get it all spiffy whiffy. When you do this, you can take it all apart, clean it, buff it, whatever you got to do. Re-grease. There's washers in here. You got to grease those. You got to put a little grease behind this spring right in there on each side, and that allows it to work pretty good. And you've greased the washer here, you've greased the washer there, you've cleaned these two up. There's a little brass washer there, or aluminum, whatever it is, that gets greased. You've just basically cleaned everything really good and greased it. And you know, it's surprising, you can get these front calipers, these side pull calipers to work pretty good. All right, let's put it back on, because it has to go back on. I did promise to clean it up because I'm a freak, and you know this. Wasn't gonna have some dirty old messed up side pull brake that's all grimy and grody. Oh, and when you do put these together, when you are cleaning them, and here's one. When you are re-greasing and cleaning them, here's another one I cleaned, but I noticed this was bent here. It's good to have this little thin wrench when you tighten it up, because then you can get in there and then tighten that up. Boom. But you can hold that little jam nut. It's important to have a little skinny wrench. This isn't a really good one, but it's one I can find right now. Anyway, that allows you to get in there and hold that and then tighten the jam nut. That's kind of the adjuster. And if you get it too tight, you'll know it. It won't even move. But you can kind of play with that adjustment back here until it gets tighter and is feeling better. This one's ready to go, except it's got a bent spindle. Oh well. Goodbye. Not our concern. All right. Let's ratchet that up. And looking pretty good here. And if you do a lot of brakes and bikes, this is a pretty good tool to have. It's a little... This is really nothing to write home about. It's, yeah, it's not even... It's cobalt, but it is a ratcheting 10. Open end and ratcheting 12-point box. And it's not angled in either way too much. It is a little bit. But it's very handy to have when you're undoing brakes and anything that's a 10 millimeter on a bike. Nice to have. Nice to have. All right, so that's on. And let's put the brake levers on. And these are courtesy of Super Fred. Thank you, Fred, for letting me bring my old rotten ones in. And these are pretty nice. This one's nice and yellow. This one's a little faded. I think we'll let Fred off on that one, you know. He did give me a nice clean one there. We'll let him go on that one. Yeah, these are a match set. Weinman. And they're not eye pokers. They got the safety ball on the end so you don't get poked in the eye. And let's put them on. Let's see here. Just hoping you guys can see. That's good. yeah, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. And if you celebrate that stuff, some people don't. I don't blame them if they don't. Who wants to celebrate a holiday where a bunch of folks were running out of food, had to be saved because they didn't know what they were doing. Okay, now let's keep it neutral now. Alright, so what I like to do is put these on loosely and then quickly put the grips on. That way you know you won't have to loosen it up again. We're going to make sure these handlebars are clean of any schmutzy, greasy stuff. And we're going to slide these metallic blue grips on. Yes, it's time to put them on, folks. I went with the matching blue and white seat and metallic grips. Just because I actually have them and they're kind of nice. So we'll just slide them on here real easy like. Oh, God. Okay, that's definitely on there. Okay, that was real easy. I think these nubs are about right. Okay. I'm going to put this one on. Maybe it'll go on a little easier. Maybe not. Wow, these are right on here. Oh, dear. It's a cold day. That's why these are going on so hard. Okay, let's get a screwdriver here. Somewhere, yeah. So I like to put the grips on now because what you're going to do is you're going to bring these back so they're like, you know, 1/16 of an inch away from the grip. You don't want it to touch, but you want it to be fairly close. And you can see the mark on the bars right there. You know, that's pretty good. So I like to put the grips on right after these because then you know where these are going to go. And you can just go from there, tighten them up. And also, you can kind of see where your hand's going to be on the grips and where this is in relation to these little nubs here. So yeah, it's always good to put the grips on right after you put these on and tighten them. I mean, then it's all part of the process, right? And you don't have to go back and mess with it later when you're doing the cabling. Like you knew what you were doing. Like this one, it's got to go like this. Looks like this grip is a little off. Okay, that looks pretty good right there. Okay, yeah, looks pretty good. I might heat this up with a heat gun and twist this a little bit, but for now, that ain't going nowhere. We're not twisting that at all. All right, let's put the front cable on. And we got a universal front cable. And I don't really like this black cable, so we're going to use gray. But we're going to snip the, first of all, is this long enough? Oh yeah, we got plenty of room. So don't snip this end off if you're using a upright bar. Make sure you snip off the 10-speed side. It is a common mistake. Whee! Alright, so we're going to take this right out. We're not using this piece because we have a better Schwinn one. And we're not using this black cable because it sucks. Okay, next. Except I can't find the bezels now. Oh yeah. So what we're going to do is we're not going to use this old gray stuff, and we're not going to use this old cable, but what we are using, which is Schwinn, is this nice little piece here. And I'll show you the difference once I get it off here. Here's the difference. This is a universal one, and this is the Schwinn one. It's just a nicer fit. Like if you put this universal one in here, it's a little sloppy. You know? You put the Schwinn one in here, sometimes they just stay right in. I mean, that's how it should be. This is Schwinn. It stays in. Here's the universal. It falls out. It's not even worth me picking it off the ground, but I will. All right, so let's pop this in here. All right, so we got this ready to go. Always test it out. Let's put the Schwinn one in, and then we'll go find some gray cable and snip it up and put it in there and grease it up. So we're sliding this on. And look at that, the Schwinn one just stays in there. Imagine that. It actually fits. Isn't that nice? All right, let's get some gray cable. Work with me here, work with me. And look at that, there's a piece of oddball gray cable right here. Looks like the right stuff. Okay. Boy, things are really cold out here in the shop, folks. It is cold. I'm not complaining. We're getting stuff done. Okay, so let's scoot you back a little bit. Good. And we're just going to estimate what's going on here. Okay, so if this brake was closed, it would be there, and it would be about right here. That looks pretty good. Since the stem is up in the utmost position all the way, I don't think I have to make it longer. If anything, it'll go down when I adjust the stem down to a safe position. So that looks pretty good. That's where I want it. Right there. We could put a little Sharpie mark on it, or we could just snip it. Why mess around? Let's just snip it. And now I'll use my little map compass thing to well, that one looks pretty good. This one needs to be popped out a little. Yeah, we got to make that right. There is a better tool you can use that makes a really clean cut. I just don't have it. So we're going to take this little divider compass thing. Saves the day every time. And this is a non-lined cable. I got cheap and I bought a bunch of gray cable that didn't have the liner. It's okay for brakes. It's not great for shifters though. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to try to find a little ferrule for that end. It won't fit in there, but it probably will fit in here, maybe. Let's go see. And if not, then we won't use it. Here's one. Okay, so we know this little ferrule will not fit in the Schwinn end without drilling it, the adjuster. It won't go in there. I'm not sure if it fits in this part or not. Let's see if it does. I doubt it. Nope, it does not fit. But this one's kind of got a built-in one, so we're just going to go with it. Yep. If you can use these, use them. Usually, there's only a few places on the Schwinn where they can be used, because Schwinn used the 5mm gray cable, and this is bigger. Okay. So we've got some grease here on my finger. This is back in here where it goes. That's back there. We're going to grease this cable now with a thin, reasonable coating. Okay. And then we're going to put this gray cable housing right over there. Feels pretty good. Doesn't feel scratchy. That's good. So we did good putting that little compass thing in there and spreading it out a little. We did good to do that. And that goes on there and in. Okay, so maybe that'll just stay there for a second and let me get the goo off my hands, maybe. And we don't have the pads in yet, but we'll just put this in real quick and get it ready for the pads. Good wrench to have, an 8-9 combo. I don't have one of those. It's a ratcheting style. I don't know if they make them that small. Possibly. But it's not totally necessary in the world of working on bikes. And neither is the 10 ratcheting. You don't have to have it. It's nice to have though. There we go. Nice and easy. Everything should be real easy. If you're struggling with cables, putting it in through the adjuster holes and putting it through the crimper holes, then something's wrong. You know, if you're struggling trying to put this through the hollow, there's a hole drilled in this bolt. If you're struggling with it, something's wrong. All right, let's put the pads on real quick. And remember how I was saying save these washers on the old pads and the nuts? Well, here's why. This is the washer they give you, and it is wrong. It is a tiny little snap washer. Put that in your parts bin for some other application. And while you're at it, the little chrome-plated nuts they give you aren't very good either. They're of a cheaper quality. See how that's bigger? That acorn is bigger. This is just a better quality Schwinn bolt. So take that off, acorn nut, and take off the nice Schwinn washer and use it on your new pad. Okay? I've said that many times, but I keep hammering it home because every new pad I buy has to be re-crimped and the snap washers have to be taken off of it and flat washers put on. So I'll keep saying it until people keep getting it. Alright, I'm going to just put these on real quick. And then we're going to use the brake holder. We should have this part ready. Sorry, folks. Probably should have had this part ready. Okay, let's put this on. Yeah, this one needs re-crimping too. Look at that space there. And okay, we'll re-crimp it when it's on the bike. We can do that. It's hard to get quality stuff nowadays. Okay, let's pop you down a little bit. What is this, like my 10th video on this bike? And it's still on the stand. Dude, what's wrong with you? All right. Let's get these close, and then we'll use our little cinchy tool, and we'll go from there. Okay, this side. That's pretty close. I'm supposed to hold this with a wrench, but I'm just using my hand because I'm stubborn. Okay, those are on there. So let's use our tool, our park tool. They have cheaper ones that are just like a wire bendy thing. They're good, they're okay. Just as the one I have. Okay, it goes on like that. Now we'll check. See how this is off now? See, we almost blew it. This moved, so we gotta slide that back in there. Make sure that ferrule's in. Look down here. Make sure that ferrule's in. And then we can give that a pull and tighten it up. Don't blow it. Oops. It is really cold out here, folks. I ain't gonna lie. It's about probably 40 degrees out here. It's been pretty cold this past couple days. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. We'll check this one. That's good. Okay, remember, before you spin the wheel, make sure you take your tool off. Okay, we got that off. And here's the little plastic end for the cable, which actually came off of that other parts bike. Non-aluminum, made by Schwinn piece of plastic. I know, sounds like, you know, somebody is a bit on the detail side. We'll snip that off and we'll put our plastic end from Schwinn on, because we can. Look at that. Would you just look at that? Okay. Yeah, we got to true the wheel up a little. Remember I was saying there was that one bad spoke that was loose. Definitely needs a truing, but we're not going to deal with that right now. We got to move on to other things. We got to put some pedals on this, and we got to kick it to the ground, and we might even true this wheel up. We'll see. Okay. All right, let's put these pedals on real quick like. And then I think we're going to kick this down. I mean, we want to go test it and everything, but I got all these other bikes to deal with to make them get out of here. So we're going to kick this down with some pedals. They'll be on the stand waiting for a rear brake cable. We could test it with the front brakes only, but I'm a little wary on that. All right, let's put some grease on these threads and put them in. Okay. That going on, and get this going. I can't find my pedal wrench right now, but I don't care. This is right. Okay, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Right pedal stamped R always goes on the chain wheel side. Come on over here. Quit messing around. Okay. Grease on there, probably too much. I'm gonna have to find my pedal wrench in a second. This is the left-hand pedal. There's an L stamped in it. It threads on counterclockwise to go in. And there it is. Let me find my pedal wrench. And you don't have to have a pedal wrench, but it helps, especially on Schwinn pedals. You don't have to have this, but it's nice to have. Use the weight of the bike with you. Tighten that up. In other words, don't pull it towards you, always push away. Okay, let's get this other one done. And then we're actually going to kick this off the stand. Maybe a quick wheel trimming, I'm not sure. Yeah, don't pull the pedal wrench toward your face. Push it away. Okay, we got pedals. We got a front brake. And let's tighten up this one spoke on this wheel, and maybe it'll kind of dial in. There is an issue. One of these front spokes is very loose. I can't remember which one it is, obviously, I don't know. I'll just feel around till we feel it. Oh, is it that one? I think it's that one. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the one. Okay, these all feel pretty good. You can kind of just tension them with your hand. There's also the sound technique. You can listen for the sound, and if you get a loose one, it'll be like bonk. Anyway, okay, so we found that one loose spoke, and it was kind of jumping back and forth. It still is. Okay, this whole area needs to go that way. So we'll grab these two, and maybe we can just do a quick little wannabe special on it. I don't have all this time to true this and make it perfect today. But if we can get it to come over a little bit, just a few turns. Yeah, I think that did it. Yeah, it's not perfect, but we got it to go over, and I can see there's a big spot here, right there. Right here. That was too far. See, we pushed it over, but now this is really close here. We were just working on this quadrant. So if we take this one and tighten this one up, that helped a little. Yeah, we're okay. It's rideable. We could spend a lot more time, and we will. But for now, we have a front brake that works. Not bad. We don't have a rear cable. We're not going to test this today. It needs a few more refinements. Let's kick it off, and we have more work to do on other bikes. So let's kick it off. Good, it's still going. That's good. All right. If you're just tuning in, we got this 90%. Okay. Yeah, bars are a little off. That's okay. Okay. That's 90% now. We did good. Alright, let's kick this one off to the side. We're not done with this yet, but we're done with it for today. It's off the stand anyway. Okay. The 1970 Super Sport is 90% there. It's off the stand. And now, what I think I'm going to do is, I'm going to put this 65 Varsity back up, and we'll quickly put on the 10-speed parts that I took off of the Collegiate that were wrong, but they'll be fine for this bike. And I also didn't tighten when I was going very fast last time, I put the cranks in and I didn't tighten the cone that holds the gear to this side. So we're going to have to deal with that. I hate to, but we got to go back in, folks. All right, so let's put this one back on and we're going to keep going. Look at that. You got the bonus today. You got 2 bikes for the price of 1. Okay. Good. All right, so we have to take this back wheel off, put the 10-speed stuff on that we took off of the collegiate, which consists of this protector and this new freewheel. And we know it'll work. There's no bolt to interfere or anything, and this is a 10-speed protector, and this does fit, although it's not the right one, but it will fit. So let's quickly take that off and deal with life. Also, we have another problem. We did not, like I said earlier, we were moving very quickly and we did not tighten the cone that cinches this gear to the crank. So unfortunately, that has to come back out. And these are 15. Great. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm here. I'm still working. I promise. Well, we can't find a 15, but we have the next best thing, an adjustable. Okay. All right, the brake's all done on this and everything. Wow. It should slip past it. Let's see if we can slip past these brake shoes. Oh yeah, I think we can. Oh yeah, okay. All right, so let's put a little dab of grease on these threads and we'll put that spoke protector on and we'll slide it on. Okay. Put some grease on here, just a little bit there, sonny boy. All right. Slide this Schwinn, actual Schwinn protector on. Sweet. And we're gonna put this freewheel on. We could use a chain whip and tighten the living bejeebies out of it. But the first time you pedal, it'll go in. But then your adjustment on the derailleur is wrong because this went in a little. So you know what? We're going to use this. We're going to use the chain whip. Do it right, son. Oh dear. I like to put these on the 3rd gear one. Yeah, makes it more doable. Okay, so we're gonna try to go not towards my face. Okay, got that on there. So now, when we put this on the bike and we adjust the derailleur, once you pedal a few times, you won't have to readjust the derailleur because that's in. It might move a little bit, but not significantly. Not enough to where you're having problems with your derailleur. Okay, let's go back over here. Okay, and you know what? Let's find an actual 15 millimeter. You know, so we have an actual wrench. Would be nice. And that is not. It's not a 15 millimeter. Is it a 15? Yes. Yes. Okay. We have an actual 15 millimeter. I believe so. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Nice to have the right wrench and you're not fumbling with your adjustable. Okay, you guys still there? Yeah, you guys are there. Okay, so we now have a freewheel protector, a spoke protector. And we're going to weasel this past the brakes again, because we can, because they're new and they're flexible. These will go in here. Okay, doing pretty good here. All right. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so let's, oh, we got to deal with life. We have to take this back apart and tighten this bolt here. I forgot to tighten. We have to do it. Then this one can come off the stand because I'm waiting on another chain, and we've got to get some bar wrap that's nice. I'm kind of waiting to get some actual copper tone bar wrap. I know that's really insane. Yeah, and we got to put this top gear on. But in the meantime, the only thing we got left that we can do on this is tighten this inner race. I blew it big time. In a big way. So let's get a wrench. We'll undo that. We'll put it in the vise. Tighten it up. And we'll put it back in. Because we blew it. Okay, you guys there? Yeah, you're there. Left-hand thread. Let's pretend to tighten it. Get this off real quick. Actually, maybe you guys can come around here. Another long in the tooth video from Faulkner Fixes All. Because he forgot to tighten the inner race. Oh, righty then. Hey, it happens. Sometimes you just forget things. And, you know, you would notice further down the road. It would just start to loosen up. Or get too tight because that inner race moved a little bit. And basically you could probably wipe out your bearings because that distance would change from that inner cone not being tight. And you know, I knew it right after I put it in. It's just moving too fast. Okay, got that. And I'm gonna try to kind of save all this grease. Okay, so this part, I forgot to tighten this part. Look, see, it's hand tight. That's a no-no, man. That's got to be tight. That has to be tight. And we're going to fix that up real quick. Now we could put this in the vise with a welding glove, like a soft jaw. I think that's what we're going to do. It's not great for your welding gloves, but it's pretty good for the chrome. There's sacrifices in life. These welding gloves are all greasy anyway. It's not really going to matter. At least you're not scratching the chrome up, you know. Okay. So it's basically a soft jaw. The welding glove is in there. Of course, that's too small. We got something for it, though. Oh, we got something for it. For the built-in hammer. Well, we got something for you. Okay. So, in this rare instance, I'm going to pull towards myself, but I'm going to hold it here. And the whole vise is moving too. That's not good. I'm saying that's tight enough. So, what have we learned? Make sure you tighten that before you assemble it. Alright, let's pop it back in. There's plenty of grease on those bearings. I already greased them. We'll make sure it's right. There we are. Yeah, these are I already pre-greased all this, so I could slap a little more in there. I think we're okay, though. We'll put a little more. That's what we do. I mean, we did have it apart. Grease did get wiped off of components. Okay. Alright, let's pop this in. And counterclockwise to put it on. Yeah, hope everyone's doing good. And if they don't celebrate Thanksgiving, then they got some time off anyway. It's good to have a little bit of rest. And like I say, I gotta make room for this huge welding job. These gotta be stored somewhere else. And we're working on it right now. We're getting it done. That big glob of grease on there. Oh dear. Okay, get that on there. Maybe we'll catch some of that for the threads. And counterclockwise because we're putting it together. And then we'll wipe the goo off, we'll adjust it. And really that's as far as we can go on this. I need a better top derailleur. And I need to figure out the bolts that hold the top ring on. I need to either re-tap them or figure out what French size they are, what's going on with that. And we need some better bar tape, and we need a chain. So there's some things. I might be able to dig up some stuff, but basically we have to deal with life, and this has to get off the stand very quickly. All right, so let's put this adjustment on this and see what happens. That's a little tight, but we knew that going in. Let's try this. That's pretty good. Yeah, just give that the whammy. That's a little tight. There we go. I can live with that. Alright, so there's pretty much nothing we can do on this bike because I used the chain that I bought brand new on the other bike, and I don't have a good top derailleur, and I don't have any bar tape that I would like to use. I really am holding out for some copper tone Hunt Wild or Schwinn new old stock tape. Okay, with 2,200 plus subscribers, I bet you someone's got some tape. Some copper tone bar tape. Not orange, not white, not black. Copper tone. Yeah, I'm holding out, folks. But this bike's about 80%. I gotta tap or figure out the bolts that hold the top ring on. Now that we got that cone tightened, that's good. Look at all that excess. I need a new chain. I used it for this other bike. And probably a different seat. That's not the right one. And I can use that on many other Schwinn bikes. Okay, so we got stuff to do. We're popping this off the stand. I know. It's incredible. Okay, this goes in the storage wait for parts later pile. This is about 80%. And the collegiate is about 99%. It needs a back cable and some tuning. All right, so now what we're gonna do, man, this is getting long, isn't it? Hey, this is life. I'm trying to make room. Okay, those are going somewhere else. This one, it's gotta be stored indoors or maybe somewhere down in the basement covered up because it's really nice. That's a complete running bike. I'm not touching that. But we are going to make this collegiate basically disappear into the ether. We're going to take everything we want off of it right now and we're going to shove it up in the attic. We're going to shove it up there in that little hatch. All right, come on now. You've been waiting all day to see one of these parted out. Okay, this one's definitely, I have no love lost on this. It will serve me well. It's going to serve another whole conversion also. Actually, the back wheel is going to go to another conversion. This back fender and crank are going to go to a 63 Traveler. And possibly these bars as well. The rims are not Schwinn right now. But you'll just get hung up in the rack. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to make this bike go away into the ether real quick. And the first thing we got to do is get rid of that goofy back wheel I put on the wrong way. No love lost here, folks. Coaster brake wheel was shoved in the wrong way with one bolt, just so we could roll it around and deal with it. This can go back up on my rack. It's a good rim. Here's the 5-speed rim that came off of it. It's a decent rim. We will clean this up and use it on another 5-speed conversion. It is a Schwinn S5 rim. It's in decent shape. We will use this. Probably not the tire. The tire has definitely seen better days. Okay. So let's take the chain guard off real quick, and then we can get these cranks out, and then we'll take the back fender out, we'll take the brakes off. We're just gonna start stripping it down, son. Folks, we got a box. We got a box to put goodies in. It's not a very big box. We don't care. Let's take this back brake off real quick. We're just gonna move quick on this, folks. This has got to go up in the bike attic for future teardowns and just future items that are going to be used off of this. So right now we need this little washer off of here. Come here, you. Come here. There we go. I'm gonna keep it all together, you know. This is for the next 5-speed conversion. We'll have all this stuff. And we'll just leave those crappy chalky pads on there. But see, this is the kind that can be adjusted to boy's bike. You can take this part off, switch it up to there. Let's just do it real quick so you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. So you take this part off. Careful not to lose the little washer. Put that to the side for a second. Put that to the side for a second. Then you take the adjuster part and push it back up to there. Okay. And sometimes they're a little stubborn because that's been marred with a cable that went through it. Sometimes you got to either tighten the bolt or kind of work it in. There, that one goes. Just finger tight for now. And then we'll take that other part and put it through where it goes. Don't forget that little tiny washer. It's important. And the little acorn. Sometimes I like to take this acorn and use it on here and get rid of that one because it looks better. But I don't always remember. Okay, so we've just converted that from girl's bike to boy's bike, just like that. Now sometimes these are riveted down here. This piece is riveted in here. They started doing that in the early 80s or late 70s. Anyway, that goes in the box. Kind of a bummer. Okay, let's get these other pieces off. We need a screwdriver. Maybe we can just pop this off, eh? Okay. Yeah, it's one of those difficult ones. Dang it. Make me look bad on camera. Come on now. Okay, so what we're gonna do, that's pretty much frozen. So we're gonna undo this one, that bolt, and then we're gonna work the whole chain guard up and back, and it'll be amazing. Now this bolt I'm taking out right now, this can be used for fender or chain guard. Nice plated flathead bolt with star washer. That can be used back here as if it was the correct one for the fender. So save those. Those are nice. I'll put that in the box. All right, so now we're going to see if we can work this back and forth and get this piece off, because this was not coming off. This piece was not cooperating. So we're going to try it again. Nope. Okay, so now we're going to work this whole chain guard back and forth. We're not breaking out the torch yet. Oh boy. Oh, there we go. See, we moved it. Did you see that? We could spray it too, but we're not going to. There we go. Oh, yeah. So we used the actual chain guard as a lever. Not recommended, but it worked. Okay, so got the chain guard off, which we might bolt back on this later, but for now we're just going to check it to the side. And here's the special long bolt that would be just for a chain guard, but since it's so long, it works on one of these. Good to have all this stuff. We'll put that in the 5-speed conversion box. So now, let's go ahead and try to get either the cranks or the rear fender off. I'm voting for the cranks and bearings because we really need those for the next one. Let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. We're doing good. We don't need this giant wrench in my hand anymore. And what we're going to do is we're going to pound the races out too. And then we're going to put the races loosely back on the crank as a unit. You know, then I can clean them as I want to. I know that I have a complete Schwinn unit once I pound these races out. And I'll show you how to do that too. It's fun. Okay, and these are dated 1972, 12 of 72. So yes, I said this was a July of 72. Strange. 12 of 72. Why would they put... I don't know. We'll have to do some more research. Maybe this is a 73. I don't know. We got to pound these races out real quick, though. Alright, let's get something to pound them out with. I don't care what it is. Piece of pipe, extension. Sometimes a 1/2-inch extension works pretty good. Yeah. Okay, not great for your extension, but we are trying to get stuff done. Hey, that went across the shop. That was cool. Yeah, here it is. We'll put it back on the cranks in a second. Alright, now we gotta watch where this one goes so I don't lose it. Not good for your extension. There that one goes. Okay, so we're gonna put this as a unit. See, now I can put this all together. There's the bearing, there's the inner race. Nice and sticky. These have never been greased. Here's the other race. There's the other cone. I mean, oh, actually, that's the cone. And these are the races. Okay, so cone, bearing, race. Here's the other race. Here's another bearing. And here's another cone. Or race, whatever you want to call it. Okay, but this is dated 12 of 72. And I thought this bike was... Maybe they made the frame and it was sitting around a few months. I thought the frame was July of 72. And Schwinn had a lot of parts laying around, you know. Alright, let's get the little washer and the bolt. There's a nice little washer that came with it, not damaged, that's good. Put that on here. And this chrome should clean up nicely. This would be some nice parts for the next 5-speed conversion. See, because this is a thin gear. This is a thin gear to take the 5-speed chain. And this will, actually it looks terrible, but this will clean up really nice. Only maybe a little bit there, but this will clean up very nice. I'm not concerned about this cleaning up, although it's going to be a lot of work to soak all these. Look at how hard this grease is, man. It's like, dude, it's been on there forever. Okay, so we got cranks, got a back fork, back brake, got this piece of gray cable housing, which is completely useless, but we'll save it anyway. Let's take off the back fender real quick, hanging it up in the rack as we can. Yeah, okay, that's not the right one. Come on now, folks. Tight quarters in here today. Yes, that is the right one, but I don't have a ratchet. Well, I have a wrench. All right, let's take this fender off like I keep saying. And we'll just kind of hang it up with the other fenders, or in a minute I will, but right now we just want it off the frame. So the frame can go into frame land. Okay, so we got that bolt off, and what I like to do is put the bolt back in for safekeeping. There's a special washer and a star washer, and then you know you have the Schwinn bolt ready to go. That can hang up, and when you're ready to use this fender, the special Schwinn fastener is there. And these are not correct, and I don't really care. Those come off. Having a problem today. Okay. Just take these off real quick. These are not Schwinn bolts. They were just put in here because I didn't want it clanging around when I was taking various parts off of it. But now this fender is going up into parts land, and we don't really care, but I will put it back, the stays back on with this crappy bolt that's not the right one, because then I can hang it up in the rack, you know. Then it's like, okay, it's not clanging around and doing crazy stuff up there and falling down. Then I can bolt these together and I can hang it on a hook and it won't fall out. Okay. Okay, so this fender is ready to be stored. Is it a decent fender? It will probably clean up pretty well. You know, as Schwinn fenders go, you can get that dent out there. Get that dent out probably. Looks like the reflector's been gone a long time, so there's no chrome area that's shinier than the rest because there was a reflector that's always been gone. Looks like somebody may have sprayed these silver at one point. That does not quite look like Schwinn gunmetal. I'm not quite sure. This will clean up nicely. This will be a very good thing for the next bike that doesn't have fenders. Not going to be on this bike because we don't care. All right, over here you go for a second. So let's take the kickstand out because we want that too. We're greedy. We're extremely greedy. Okay, kickstand tool. Yeah. Come on now, got stuff to do. Don't make me look silly. There's the pen. Okay. Okay, we got the pen. Stand. We'll pound out that little sucker there with something because we can. An old drill bit. We don't care. Maybe something better than an old drill bit, huh? Yeah. Okay, let's pop this out, eh? Ooh, that grease is nasty. There it is. Okay. Hey, that's in pretty good shape. That's in good shape. Here's the pin that goes with that. But what we're going to do is we're just going to put this in my kickstand collection, and this goes in another drawer of loose stuff. That's gone. And this is marked. It looks like it's marked. Yeah, I don't know what that's marked. Let's see what that is. Yeah, there's a mark on here. And it is a 345. And I believe that to be most collegiates have the 345. So we'll put that in our collection. Okay, next. We want to take all these goodies. Now, on this particular bike, I think I'm going to leave the fork and the race. I'm going to take these bars, obviously the speedometer. This front wheel can go back up in the rack. I think I'm going to leave the fork and adjuster on here. But first, before we do anything, we're going to try to undo this bolt. Because right now we can hold it with the handlebars. Oh yeah. See, we would have never been able to get that. You would have had to put the front wheel in your legs and all that stuff, and you probably wouldn't have gotten it loose. Okay, so we got that loose. Let's just make absolutely sure it's going to come off. We don't want any surprises. Build up some heat. Okay, I think I can probably spin that off once the time comes. All right, let's undo this bolt and tap it with the brass hammer, bronze hammer. And we'll just save the speedometer and everything on there as a unit. I'll deal with it later. Now hopefully this, I've never had this stem out of here. So maybe it's seized, maybe it isn't. We're gonna find out though, right now. That's a good sign. Oh yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is a nice 5-speed shifter for the next conversion. Yeah, it goes down in here in the conversion box. All right, no washer. No washer, interesting. Strange. Okay, we'll leave that on. And let's get this bolt off. Oh, I see what was happening. Just didn't want to come off. Come on now. Be nice. Huh, interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. There we go. All right, we're just going to leave this as a unit. Because I don't really... I probably will use these pieces later, or I might sell this frame with chain guard as a unit. Someone might want a brown collegiate. The next thing we need to do is get the front wheel off. And then we're going to take the emblem. And this is a non-Schwinn front wheel, and we don't care. It's almost ready for bike attic. Okay, good. All right. Let's see if we can get this emblem off real quick. Nice emblem, not coated, not date coated. Might clean up a little better. It looks pretty good. See if I got a screwdriver that can even get in here. No, I need the right screwdriver. Okay. Okay, here it is. So, after we get this emblem off, we're going to shove this up into the bike attic storage area, where I'll decide at some point we'll probably put the chain guard. I don't think I'm going to put the chain guard back on it. I will offer it for sale with it though. And now you get to see how beautiful and shiny this bike was back in the day. It's always fun to look just how beautiful it was. It's like opening the trunk of an old car and looking on the inside, the upper part. Okay, let's put these in my special Schwinn area where those go. Let's put these bars where they're going to kind of live for a while. And let's shove this frame up where it's going to live. Although that might be slightly difficult. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, I think we're going to shove this up into attic land right now. We're definitely on a mission to make room, and this bike has to go up. There's not a lot of room up here. Okay, let's bring you up here. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully I can shove this thing up here. There's not a lot of room up here. Okay, I think I can. Yeah, on the side of this blue bike here. Okay, here we go. Doesn't everybody have an attic filled with Schwinn girls frames? Taking all the parts off of. Doesn't everybody have that? Oh dear, don't look up there. Oh yeah, we're gonna take all the parts off this girl's bike and we're gonna sell the frame on eBay. Right. Okay, while we have this ladder here, let's put this fender up there. And man, we've actually made some room here today. This is really good, folks. I can store these other two projects somewhere else. And I can definitely store this fender up here. There's room for that. Let's get a hook. Okay, we're almost done with this video. Man, it's been a rough one, folks. And here's where bolting these stays back in with the bolt comes in handy. And you can put this here. There's a good chance it won't slip out. Although, how could it? Okay, yeah, that's the way we want it. I think we can put it up there somewhere. There's no rhyme or reason on these fenders up here. It's just what can go up kind of thing. Okay. I mean, it'd be nice if that was up higher, but okay. I mean, it's good to have an S5 rear fender sitting around. We got something for it. Okay. Yeah. These wheels will get hung up there in a second. I'm not going to bore you with those details. So we did very well. These are all for the next 5-speed conversion. A little box of 5-speed goodies. That's very good. This pin and this piece goes on a little drawer because you'll never find these again for the kickstand. So for now, I think we're just going to put it in here. Hey, we're doing pretty good. Thanks for joining me today. And sorry about all the hubbub, but I need this area. I need this. I need about this far. So there only can be like 2 or 3 bikes shoved way over. This stand probably has to go outside with plastic on it. All these have to be painted. And some 10-foot by 2-foot tall planters have to be made out of 1/8-inch steel. So that's what I've been putting off. But anyway, that's what happens when you work on bikes all summer instead of doing jobs that pay the bills. Yeah, I feel like the grasshopper that played the fiddle. As always, thanks for tuning in. And remember, just keep it positive, folks. Everything's going to be fine. Don't feed the negative. Think good thoughts. And if you are working on bikes, you may want to bundle up on some parts. I did mention that in another video, but, you know, like if you're going to do some 700C conversions, go buy a bunch of 700C tubes, because these are all from overseas. And in fact, almost everything you buy that's new for bikes is going to be probably, don't get me wrong, maybe there's some people that are still making parts here, but most of the parts are going to be from overseas. So bundle up now. It's going to be a tough road ahead this coming year. A tube is going to be like 15 or 20 bucks or something. I don't know, but I do know things are going to go up. So, you know, cachet your parts now, like me. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Faulkner Fixes All. Sorry, such a long video this time. Just had to get stuff done, and this is what I had to do. All right, peace out.